Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about sleep. I'm Dr. Daniel Barone. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is he wearing these interesting looking sunglasses or glasses? And that's what the topic of today is. Something called blue light or blue frequency light. What is that? Well, if you remember from a few videos back I did on the topic of melatonin, melatonin is something that our brain naturally makes, which helps us to begin the process of getting to sleep. What happens naturally in nature is the sunlight comes, the sun goes down, darkness sets in, and then the brain starts producing melatonin. They call it dim light melatonin onset. Once that occurs, the body prepares itself to get ready to go to sleep, and sleep normally happens. Now, in our day and age, with all the exposure to electronic devices and computer and TV and smartphones and whatever else, our sleep has become disrupted. And with the advent of social media and people being on that all night, they call it a social jet lag, if you will. And as a result of that, we sleep an hour less than we did 100 years ago, which doesn't sound like much, but it actually is very significant. All right. So getting back to blue light. So what happens is our brain, or our eyes rather, naturally see light in a spectrum ranging from 380 to 740 nanometers. And that's just a measure of the wavelength of light. And that's visible light. That's all the things that we see. However, there's a small little sliver in that spectrum at around 460 nanometers, which is where blue light sits. So you guys remember from your high school physics, Roy G. Biv, that's the different colors of the spectrum. So blue light is kind of right in that middle, this very special blue light around 460 nanometers. Now, what produces blue light? Well, that's all the things we said. Computers, TVs, iPads, iPhones, smartphones, blah, blah, blah. What I tell patients is anything with a backlit display that you can see without light, with the light shut off, that's probably producing blue light. What that does is when the brain or when the eyes get this 460 nanometer light, it tells the brain, oh, the sun is out right now. Therefore, stop producing melatonin. You see where I'm going with this? So when we have exposure to blue light around bedtime and there is any trouble sleeping, what can happen is this exposure to this kind of light can keep us awake by stopping production of melatonin. Now, there's ways around it. The best way is to just stop using those devices. What I tell my patients is a good 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime, just shut off all the electronic devices. However, there are certain apps that will kind of get rid of the blue hue on your phone, for example. Glasses like this, which actually they call them blue blockers, they block out the blue light. These things can work, but my usual recommendation, though, is just to stop them. Because, all right, fine, so maybe you're getting rid of the blue light, which is a good thing, but then you may be checking your email or reading something, and that content can also keep you awake as well, but that's a separate issue. So that's what basically blue light is, and that's how it works, and that's why it's not good for us. So what I would say, if there's any trouble sleeping, you want to cut off the electronic devices 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime, and definitely you want to resist temptation to look at your phone or watch TV or go on the computer if you wake up in the middle of the night. Better thing to do would be meditate or read on paper. Speaking of reading, people always ask me about, are some of these e-readers okay? What I would say is this: the general rule of thumb is if you can see the screen without any external light, then it's backlit, and that's probably not good, okay, despite what the claims they make. If you need like a little lamp, a desk lamp or so, or a little kind of external light to see the words on the screen because it looks like paper, that's probably okay. All right. The key thing is here, if you want to read before bed, that's cool. Just keep it on paper. Okay. You want to avoid anything where your eyes are exposed to backlit displays. That's melatonin. That's blue light, and that is why some people are having sleep trouble nowadays. So remember, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share it with your friends and family on social media. Just don't use social media around bedtime. And if you must, get something like this or just don't use it at all. And remember, my book, Let's Talk About Sleep, is on Amazon.com. It's also on some of those e-readers. And the paperback version is coming out in May of 2019. Thanks for watching, guys. Please ask some questions in the comment section below. I will answer all of them. And I will see you on the next video. Until then, sleep well.